You're locked in with me, BB Davis for BB Love Sports, where sports and gaming is the exquisite fusion. We have the final score for South Carolina State Bulldogs facing off with Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, 28-7. Now, this game did not go quite how many thought that it would, even though we saw some good looks from the Bulldogs. But again, final score for this one is 28-7. Now, I want to give a shout out again to South Carolina State Athletics Department for another year doing coverage. BB Love Sports 1021 magazine, where I'm publisher and founder, for giving us the access. All right, so here we go, everybody. This is the booklet for this week. This is the South Carolina State Bulldogs football, and they face off with Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. This game started at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is October 14th. It's a lot of things that's happening right now. We have the annular solar eclipse. If you're in that vicinity, good for you. Now, speaking of here in Orangeburg, South Carolina, when it was the total eclipse, I was at the Edisto Gardens, beautiful gardens, and we had a wonderful view of the total solar eclipse a few years ago. And I mapped it out because I'm a stargazer and sky watcher, and that was going to be the longest point right there, right here in Orangeburg, for you to see the total solar eclipse. So I'll be posting some of that to the social media platforms. All right, so let's talk about this game here. Played at Oliver C. Dawson Stadium with the beautiful, newly named Willie E. Jeffries Field. Let's go through the stats. Then I'm going to give what we call my POVs. Okay. First quarter, South Carolina State Bulldogs looked really, really good. They were tight. They were cohesive. The offense and the defense were making the stops. Tennessee Tech, the Golden Eagles, did not have an answer whatsoever. They were getting the yardages a little bit, but the run game was shut down. Not only was the run game shut down, they were just very good, the Bulldogs, holding 0-7. And this was all of the first quarter going into the second quarter. Tennessee Tech, they were not trying to throw long. They just couldn't get anything off. But when we look at it, it speaks for itself, the stats. First downs, Tennessee 0, Bulldogs 7. This is the score. And then the first downs, it was 4 for Tennessee. And then it was 3 for the Bulldogs. Penalties, 2 of 25 for the Golden Eagles, 1 of 21 for the Bulldogs. No fumbles for either team in the first quarter. Fourth down conversions, 1 of 1 for the Golden Eagles, 0 of 0 for the Bulldogs. Time possession of the ball, 8 minutes and 11 seconds for the Golden Eagles and 6:49 for the Bulldogs. All right, so then things started changing here in the half, tied up going into the second quarter. In first downs, Tennessee Tech, they started to do some adjustments. They were getting shut down on the runs, could hardly get those touchdowns, and boom, that's when some of the momentum shift did change. In first downs, they had 11 to the Bulldogs 6. And they started going into the daggers. They got some penalty troubles right there, which was good for the Bulldogs. And they still managed to have more time possession of the ball, but it was still tied up. At the end of halftime, or at halftime, I should say, it was 17 minutes, 8 seconds for the Golden Eagles and 12 minutes and 52 seconds for the Bulldogs. Penalties, the daggers were right there for the Golden Eagles. They were 5 of 53 to the Bulldogs, 1 of 21. No interceptions whatsoever. I can say this much. The Bulldogs, they were giving the quarterback for Tennessee Tech enough time in the pocket. Okay, he just couldn't get anything off because they were right there with the defense and the offense. Okay, giving them nothing to really go on. So they were not worried, if you look at the plays, and this from my POV, they were not worried at all about trying to sack the quarterback, but just stopping the runs and keep them from getting into the end zone. All right, so then things started to change in the third quarter. The score is 14-7. And first downs, you had 17 start to pull up the Golden Eagles. And first downs for the Bulldogs, 7. One fumble for the Golden Eagles, which brought back some momentum for the Bulldogs, but still they couldn't get anything to happen. Time possession ball, they still managed to have a lot more time. And then that's when they started really running down that clock. 26 minutes and 44 seconds for the Golden Eagles and 18 minutes and 16 seconds for the Bulldogs. Third down conversions for the Golden Eagles, 2 of 8 and 2 of 10 for the Bulldogs. Fourth down conversions, 1 of 2 for the Golden Eagles and 0-0 for the Bulldogs. Final quickie stats we have here. In the first downs, final score 28-7. The Golden Eagles had 23 first downs, making those adjustments and moving down the chains. 10 for the Bulldogs. Just the 1 fumble for the Golden Eagles. And I would just have to say it really needs to be some adjustments there for South Carolina State. All right, so you have Corey Fields, who's been the QB for quite some time. Is it time to start making some adjustments? Who's up next that can just come right on in and we can see if they can make some plays? If something's not working, you have to make adjustments. You have to make those adjustments, and it's still loyalty. And you would think that maybe with the change out of the QB, just for a while and see how it goes, that they would be on board, because it's a whole team type of effort. It's not singular. So, there was a lot of chances to have a wide open wide receiver right there that you didn't throw to, getting some more game plays going on. You want to, it's time for new blood. That's what I feel. That's one of the things, and that's some of the things that people have talked about, not just for this game, but just kind of looking into the season. So, this is final. Today was also Parents Weekend and Community Day and Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Make sure you get your screenings for breast cancer, not just for women, but for men. Know your status, get those mammograms. I have one that's upcoming in November, so, health is wealth. The Bulldogs, in the post-conference before the game, Coach Buddy talked about wanting to see exactly how they were going to fare out with this game. Took a bad L, even though a lot of the good looks were there. It's time to make some different adjustments. I feel a lot of that does start with the player, and then just see how they connect with others, and, just go from there. All right, everybody. This has been great. Make sure you check out some of the sky there for the annual solar eclipse. I'll be talking more about a lot of other college sports around the league, so you definitely want to lock it in with me. This has been a great time. It's always been a pleasure to come here. This is like second home, South Carolina State. I am an honorary I'm honorary, I should say, Bulldog. I'm thinking of my Golden Bulls because it is homecoming. There's a lot of HBCU homecomings that's going to be happening for the month of October. A lot of HBCU homecomings started happening at the end of September, but shout out to Johnson C. Smith University. Happy homecoming, everybody. I'm going to try and get through there on Sunday. And happy homecoming to the 49ers. And if you are having your homecoming, happy homecoming to you, even if it's upcoming. Well, I've had a great time here. It's time for me to bounce. I'm BB Davis, and you've been locked into BB Love Sports, with sports and gaming is the exquisite fusion. The Bulldogs move on from this, and we'll see what happens. Peace and love, everybody. Bye-bye.